And, the first question is, how good does it sound? Rhea Ripley, Raw Women's Champion.
It just sounds right. It sounds perfect. I love it. Music to my ears.
Is there a chance that you can describe the feeling when you won the title at WrestleMania?
Yeah, I mean, it's real hard to describe, but I guess it would just be like electrifying. It just, all my emotions and everything that I had gone through in the wrestling business, it all sort of came to that moment. And I was very like overwhelmed. I didn't want to cry, and I don't remember crying. I think I blacked out a little bit because I was just so excited. You know, when you get so excited, you just like forget everything. I think that happened to me a little bit, but I remember getting the 3 count and then screaming, because that's what I do when I'm excited. And then like seeing my friends and my boyfriend in the front row and just being so happy and so excited. I just wanted to like run over to them and give them like a huge hug, but I was like, no, you can't. You're not allowed to. Just take this moment in.
Yeah. And, at the beginning of WrestleMania, when it started, obviously it was the first time for everyone in a year, with fans, obviously got caught on camera, tearing up a little bit. I'm trying to imagine what was like for you guys to be there on that stage. And, after a very hard year for everyone, finally seeing faces in the crowd, that's not a screen, but fans, was just one of those moments again that it was, you couldn't help yourself. It's just very emotional for everyone.
Yeah, no, it was amazing in so many different ways. It's been so different not having that live crowd where you can connect to them. And I know that everyone, like all the superstars, everyone's missed them. And I know that the crowd's really missed being a part of the show as well, being able to watch it live. Like they're a main part of our product, and not having them there is super weird and it just doesn't feel complete. So having them there at WrestleMania this year was just so special, and like knowing what everyone had probably been throughout the last year, and even last year's WrestleMania, not having a crowd at all. Yeah. It was just so strange, but like this year just felt so perfect and so right in a way. And I could tell by the by the noise and how excited everyone looked that the crowd was so happy to be back. And I think that's what made it even more special, because like just looking around at the stage and seeing all my fellow superstars and seeing them take it all in and get emotional when I've never seen most of them get emotional, and then look at the crowd and like seeing their faces of just pure joy and hearing their chants of like welcome back. And it was a very, very special moment. And I was honestly trying not to cry, but I think it was just too special that I couldn't hold it in. Like I was honestly trying my best, but Edge broke me, and then a fan in the crowd broke me, and then I looked at the screen and I was getting filmed, and I was like, oh wow. Thank you guys, I appreciate it. I love crying in front of people.
And you talked about last year, because it was weird, for the first time seeing like a WrestleMania without a crowd, and obviously that didn't go well for you. You lost to Charlotte. But how was that first WrestleMania for you? Was, bittersweet because you lost the title as well, but having no fans. What was going through your head that day?
That day was a very, very stressful day for me. A lot of things got like thrown at me super last minute, and I was honestly running around like a chip without a head. I was very angry at everyone and just stressed out. And Rhea Ripley stressed out is not anything that anyone wants. So I was a mad mess that day. But looking back at it now, I'm like, that was still like my first WrestleMania, and that was still such an important show to be a part of. Like being on that WrestleMania, it still means so much to me, and I'll never take it back. Like I don't regret it at all, even though, yes, I did lose my NXT Women's Championship to Charlotte. Like it was still such an amazing moment, and honestly a part of history. That was the first time that we had a WrestleMania with 0 people in attendance, and it was my first ever WrestleMania, and it was the first ever time an NXT championship got defended at WrestleMania. So there was so many like history-making things going into that match, and I'm so proud that I got to be a part of it. It was a lot of fun. Even though I lost, it was a lot of fun. And I don't regret a thing. I still think that it was one of my best matches. And for it being the first singles matches that I've had with Charlotte, I think we stole the show, and I'm very proud of that.
Yeah, it was a great match. And, your career in WWE started with the Mae Young Classic. Then you went to NXT UK, where you became the inaugural champion there. Then you came to NXT, you won the title. Now you're on Raw, you won the title. How's been these last few years for you? Must have been crazy, because at the same time, you're the first female Aussie champion in WWE history. Tell me all about it.
Oh, man, it's been a crazy, crazy ride. Coming here at 20 years old and being a part of the first Mae Young Classic, I was very different to the person that I am today, because I was still growing as a human in my real life, like outside of work and inside work as well. I was just growing and blossoming and becoming the person that I am today. Going from that to NXT UK and becoming the first UK women's champ, that was amazing. I got to help build a brand that was just starting, and to be there with the guys and girls over there and see how hard they've worked for that moment, and see how excited and everything that they, like all the emotions that they felt, and watching them go out there and do what they love to do. I was having the time of my life. Like, I absolutely love NXT UK, and I really do wish that I could go back for another show, because I miss all the guys and girls there. I do. And then to come to NXT and challenge Shayna straight away, like, it's insane. It's insane. And I honestly don't really know how to describe my life except for using the word insane. Because like I've done so much in such a limited amount of time, but I've also been through so much crap at the same time. So it's so strange to me. Like, I really like looking at life like a roller coaster, because it's completely true. Like, life is up and down, but you just got to go along for the ride. So every time that I felt like I was at my lowest, I don't know how, but I'd rise and I'd win a championship. That's just my life. I don't really know why, but it's been absolutely crazy, but so much fun at the same time. It really has been to now hold the Raw Women's Championship. Like, that's something that I didn't think would happen for a long, long time. But to know that it's sitting here next to me and it's got my nameplates on it, like, that's special. I dreamt of that since I was a little kid, and now it's a reality. And I think that's absolutely insane.
And you're facing Asuka WrestleMania Backlash. Now you have Charlotte, since last Monday. And, what's funny, because when it was confirmed, the match on Twitter, you tweeted right away saying, looks like I get to punch Asuka in the face again. But now, in this triple threat, you have the opportunity to punch Asuka and Charlotte. How do you feel about this? It's crazy, because Charlotte, she said when she came back to Raw, she was the opportunity that you slid her, your way into a match with Asuka at WrestleMania. And now she's doing the same at WrestleMania Backlash.
It's fitting, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really fitting. I should have known. I honestly should have known that this was going to happen. I feel like Charlotte says that I'm a snake because she knows deep down that she's the snake. And I think she does that with a lot of other things as well. She calls herself the opportunity, but technically I'm the opportunity, right? Because she's coming into my match to win my championship. Well, try and win my championship. So technically, aren't I the opportunity? Yep. It's fitting. It really, really is. I mean, as for punching them in the face, I am still very excited for that. I can't wait to give Asuka a good one. And I honestly am even more excited to punch Charlotte in the face, because I've got a lot of payback coming her way. And I don't think she really understands who Rhea Ripley is, because she doesn't look at me like a threat. I get that. But she should. She really, really should. She shouldn't doubt me and my abilities, because I've proved once again that I deserve to be here and I am champion material. And she did beat me last year at WrestleMania and she took my championship, but that's not going to happen this year. Yeah. She can call me anything that she wants, but deep down, that's her own insecurities coming out.
And the nickname Nightmare, where did that came about? How did that show up in your career?
So it's actually, I got it from Motionless in White lyric where they say, I am the nightmare that will haunt you in the light. And it sort of just like stuck with me after I heard it. And I was like, that's really cool. And it's sort of really fitting because my life is just like, at the time, like I was pretty much living my own little nightmare in my head because I've gone through a lot mentally. I'm not like, I don't want to say that I'm like not mentally stable because I am, but like I go through a lot and I doubt myself a lot. And my confidence, it's there, but it's also not as strong as it should be. So I felt like my life is sort of like a nightmare. And I was like, no, I should be the nightmare to everyone else. Like I shouldn't be feeling this way. I should be inflicting that onto others and making them feel like they don't want any part of me. So the way that I look at it now is like everyone's living in their little daydream and they're just going along with what they're doing and they don't realize that I'm coming in. The nightmare is coming and I'm going to take over. And then their little daydream that they're having, winning championships, having the time of their life, winning matches, like it's all going to come crashing down and become a nightmare. And that's pretty much where the nightmare comes in.
Speaking of music, you had Ash Costello from New Year's Day performing at WrestleMania, another bucket list goal, I would say, for you. And I wanted for you to have like a band performing, for you to get in. Not many superstars can say they had a band performing their entrance song.
Yeah, I felt like a superstar. It's funny that people like say that. I can't take it in. I'm just like, wow, I am a superstar. Oh man. But yeah, I don't know. I felt so incredibly cool at that moment in time. I was like, I've dreamt of going on stage with the bands that I listen to. So having Ash Costello and New Year's Day play me to the ring at WrestleMania with a live crowd, like I love that moment. And I wish I could have just stayed on the stage for the entire song because I was having so much fun. Like you could see it in my face. I was like, yes, like this is my time to shine. This is where I own the stage and this is my opportunity to show everyone who I am. And I was just like, I was so excited. I just wanted to stay there and I wanted to sing along with Ash, but I was like, nah, time for work.
I'm sure you'll have time soon, for concerts, they're happening soon. So, speaking of concerts, do you remember your first concert that you attended?
I'm fairly certain. So it could have been either or. It could have been a Rihanna concert or a Black Eyed Peas concert. Sounds weird coming from me.
Yeah.